Hey, good morning. My name is Musa, and I'm the author of the book Forever Fearless and CEO of Forever Fearless Fashion. And it's about 5 a.m. on January 27th, which is a very important date, and I'll tell you why towards the very end. But I love everything that Stan is doing, and I believe that our missions and our purpose align perfectly. And so I'm excited to share my story for this Dare to Dream campaign. As I explained to you how we went from just a random dream one night to ending up at the 2024 Olympics and being paid to be out there. So excited to share my story because this is my year of no fear. Let's go. So, why'd you start Forever Fearless? I'm so glad you all asked. Well, first off, I started it because being a ventriloquist is harder than you think. But in all honesty, after I graduated from student body president from my university, I'd worked for a law firm. And at that law firm, I was doing estate planning where I was helping people who are 65 plus years old retire. But for a lot of them, I was also helping plan their death by setting up trust funds. And, me just being a curious kid out of college, I'm, speaking with these people at the end of their life, and I'm like, hey, Bill, Gertrude, John, like, what did you actually want to be in life? And it was disheartening to see and realize that 9 out of 10 of them were nothing close to what they actually wanted to be. And again, just me being curious, asking like, hey, why didn't you go after what you wanted? And they'd always give me these long lists of excuses. But at the very bottom, it would always boil down to, I guess I was just afraid. And I'm like, afraid of what? And they're like, afraid of what people would think. Or what if I failed? And it made me think, because I remember Jim Carrey giving a commencement speech, and he said, if you succeed at what you don't want to do, you still failed. And then also what he mentioned where he's like, yeah, I was afraid of what people would think. I was like, hey, where are those people now? They're all gone. And so over and over and over, I would realize that as these people are crying, because it's a very emotional moment for them, because I think for them, they realize that they lived their whole life and they never lived. And over and over and over, in hundreds of homes, they kept telling me, tell your generation be fearless. Tell your generation be fearless, because no matter how safe you play it, you still end up here. And so my heart's passion and my heart's cry is to inspire our generation, and really anyone who's still alive, who still has breath, to keep going after it. That's why in my book, there's a chapter that's focused on fear fighters, or famous failures. And it even talks about how Colonel Sanders was 65 and then started KFC. And thank God, because I love chicken, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is that if you still have breath, if you still have a day, you still have a chance. And you should take that chance, right? Because like they said, like my old client said, no matter how safe you play it, you still end up here. Meaning that you're still gonna end up somewhere in a box, right? So don't let them put you in a box in real life ahead of time. Be who you're supposed to be. Try things out. Go after it. But don't die every day before your death. Live your life to the fullest and be brave. And I'm here to tell people that being brave doesn't mean that you don't feel fear. I feel fear all the time. I've done speaking for 20 plus years. But even with that, I still feel fear every time I get up on stage. And so you just get to realize that fear's not going anywhere. And it's gonna show up everywhere that I go, every recital, every speech, whatever big moment of your life, it's gonna be there. So you need to show up as well. And so again, bravery is not the absence of fear, but it's feeling the fear and still taking action. And that's why we make Act Aware, for you to take action in. Because I believe that action is the only thing that can actually change your life. People can have all these great thoughts, but then they go to the grave with them. It's like, execute now, leave everything on the field, right, in this game of life. Because ultimately it's a big, beautiful game of musical chairs. And you never know when the music's gonna stop. But I do believe that everyone is here for some type of purpose. And if I can inspire them to dream again, then that's a beautiful thing. And dreaming saved my life, because in my book, Forever Fearless, there's a chapter entitled if you're reading this right now. And that's when I had lost everything in California. I'd left the law firm. I'd gone to pursue music in California, and things didn't go as planned. And I lost everything. Eviction notice on the door, repo man coming after my car, and I'm driving 32 hours back from California to Minneapolis by myself with the last bit of change that I have, so I can sleep on my friend's mom's couch. And just feeling of depression and anxiety and just feeling lost. And in the middle of the night during the canyons, I had thought about going off one of the cliffs that didn't have a guardrail, and thinking that, hey, listen, if I go off, then no one will know I committed suicide. They'll just think that I fell asleep at the wheel. And that's very serious to me because my brand focuses on mental health. And what people don't realize is that over 800,000 people commit suicide every year. That's somebody every 10 minutes. And so I'm literally on a race against the clock. And so that's why I also created my clothing brand, so that people can remember to be brave, to remember that they have a purpose, and that their life and their dreams matter. And that's why I tell so many people that the best days of my life happened after the worst days of my life. Because after I had started the brand, I still was working in corporate America, and then after 12 years, unfortunately, my mother had passed away, and I take some time away and spend time with my family and take some time to travel and do some soul searching, and realized that I never really gave my clothing brand the opportunity to win. And so in that, I took my last $2,000 and gave it to a marketing guy, because one thing I do know is sales. And I realized if you have a good product and you get it in front of the right people, it'll sell. Took the last $2,000, gave it to the guy. I said, bro, this is literally my last $2,000. I don't even have money to pay rent. And that was in that October. And then by the end of that October, I made $25,000 in revenue. All of that clearly was not profit, right? But I had a ton of merchandise there that wasn't selling, so I had to make an insane, sale. But good thing I was able to get it off and sold $25,000, that month. Ironically, at that same time, I had just gotten an offer for a vice president role. So right now, I'm still currently the vice president of a tech firm. And I think this is all like kind of a wink from the universe, because you guys are offering $120,000. And ironically, this is my offer letter. And if you see closely, again, my salary is $120,000. And I bring that up because throughout this whole last year, I've been being the CEO of this company while this has been expanding, but then also still the vice president of a tech firm, which is insanely demanding. And I'm working 16 to 18-hour days, waking up at 6 in the morning, packing orders, and then running the firm and acting like I'm Batman and Bruce Wayne all at the same time, and running to networking events and getting home sometimes at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Again, do the math, 16 to 18-hour days, and being completely exhausted. And so I've been able to inspire so many people and touch so many people and have so many deep encounters with customers, because it's so much more than a clothing brand. And even within this last year, we've been able to do New York Fashion Week and be in Times Square and be in GQ magazine. And then, we got a message from the Olympics saying, we love your brand. We love what you guys stand for. We love the quality of your fabric. Thank you guys. And we want to take you to dinner. And then they took me to dinner and said that we would love you to dress, certain teams for the upcoming Olympics. And I was like, they're like, you can sleep on it. I was like, ain't nothing to sleep about. We gonna do it. Let's go. And ultimately they flew me out. They paid me, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And especially for my family and for my legacy, but even more for the dreamers, for the people that believe that anything is possible. Just to know that this went from a dream that I got in the middle of the night for this clothing brand that wouldn't let me sleep, to being at the Olympics with millions of people watching around the world, and us being on TV and right next to brands like Nike and Adidas. And so my whole point is the fact that if I was able to do this by myself and spending all my money, what could I do if I really had all the time to focus on this? How many more lives can I touch? How many more people could I inspire to dare to dream? Again, forgive me, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, barely getting any sleep, but this is my heart. And I believe that I am living what you are inspiring people to do, and I want to join with you, and I hope that you would want to join with me as we continue to inspire the world. Even if you choose not to in that regard, again, I wish you all the best. I thank you for considering me. This video is probably longer than you wanted to watch, but I wanted to share my story in full authenticity, and really just the heart behind the message. So no matter what you choose, I wish you all the best, and I encourage you to be brave, be bold, be fearless. Thanks, guys.
Hey, listen, Musa the Mental Mechanic, off the book Forever Fearless. Chase your dreams. Dreams do come true.
Tomorrow I start my small business. Let the journey begin. I'm excited.